All right, thank you for tuning into Quimbee CLE. I am your host, Eric Cervone. Today, I am honored to be joined by Mark S. Silver. Mark is a New York State licensed clinical social worker and is admitted to practice law in New York and New Jersey. Mark works as a consultant for law firms throughout the United States, conducting psychosocial evaluations and writing formal reports in forensic and mitigation, immigration, and criminal cases. He has worked with clients from 40 countries throughout the world on various individual, family, mental health issues related to criminal conduct and immigration cases, and often provides expert testimony. Mark, thanks so much for being here.
Thank you.
So, Mark, today we are talking about the Adam Walsh Act. We're talking about forensic evaluations related to the Adam Walsh Act and how they relate to immigrant petitions. Before we even dive into the subject, can you give us just a little bit of background on the Adam Walsh Act and how it's relevant to immigrant petitions?
Sure. The Adam Walsh Act, as I have in the slides, really emanates from concern regarding the safety of children. And it was originally meant to protect children from sexual exploitation, prevent child abuse, limit child pornography, and to promote internet safety. But really the core issue here for us is that it had the effect of amending the Immigration and Nationality Act. And it effectively prohibited U.S. citizens and lawful permanent residents, that is, people with green cards, who have been convicted of any specified offense against a minor, from filing any family-based immigrant petition on behalf of any beneficiary, that is, an adult or child, unless the Secretary of the Homeland Security determines in his or her sole unreviewable discretion that the petitioner poses no risk to the beneficiary. So usually in immigration work, we're evaluating clients because they've come to the United States illegally and they have some sort of problem. These are unique cases because it's the American citizen who has a problem because of their history of committing some kind of offense against a minor, often sexually based. And now that American citizen is trying to petition, most often for his spouse or fiance, to live or come to the United States and be in his family as a permanent resident.
So let's talk about these forensic evaluations. What is a forensic evaluation? When does that need to be considered in one of these petitions?
Well, forensic evaluations are broad psychosocial assessments to help lawyers better understand in a holistic way anything and everything that can advocate for the client given their psychological history, their social well-being. It's particularly important for immigration lawyers because in a lot of these cases we're proving, especially in deportation and waiver cases, we need to prove hardship for family members. In asylum cases, we want to know about psychosocial background because of history of persecution or human rights violations, for example. In spousal abuse cases, for example, we want to know about the history of abuse that the person suffered. It's particularly crucial in something called criminal immigration cases or crimmigration, where there is an element of family hardship and family evaluation that's required. However, there is also a criminal component to the case. Usually it's the alien, but in this case it's the American citizen who has a criminal history. Now, usually, as I said, we have the alien who's committed some kind of illegal activity, such as coming to the United States through misrepresentation or fraud or committing a felony. But here it's the American citizen who needs to have their criminal history looked at, and specifically through something called mitigation. That is, we look at anything and everything in this person's background to help explain and contextualize the person's illegal conduct so that the adjudicator who's reviewing the case will have a much more sympathetic and insightful and broader understanding of the person's criminal history so that they can, really be able to identify with any factors that help explain how this person got themselves into so much trouble.
And you talk about disabusing the adjudicator of bias. Can you explain what that is and how mitigation plays into this?
It's extremely important. Mitigation is really from the world of criminal defense lawyers. And in the world of criminal defense, in which I also do a lot of work, there is inherent bias and prejudice against criminal defendants simply because of their skin color or gender, or even kind of clothes that they wear. It's especially relevant in criminal immigration cases with the Adam Walsh Act, because the person has committed an offense against a minor, and there are inherent biases and prejudices on the part of the adjudicator in the USCIS, which is really the core part of the CLE and the slides that we have.